So when we graph this next graph, negative 2x squared plus 5x plus 18, this one ends up looking upside down. Okay, so when I put this in, again, you should be graphing these on your own. Okay, you should be able to see what these graphs look like. Okay, so, well, that's not a very good graph, but it looks like that. You want to find the vertex. Okay, so the location of that vertex is going to be at 1.25. And the y-coordinate is 21.125. Okay, so that was my y-coordinate, x and y-coordinate. The axis of symmetry is going to be where that x-coordinate of the vertex is, so x equals 1.25. Okay, if you're wondering what these y-min, y-max, and x-min, x-max is, they just indicate the window that we're dealing with. So this is going to be from negative 10 to 10, and maybe I'll just take that there. The y-min is negative 10, and the y-max is about 22. Now, these don't have to be exact. It just gives you an indication of the scale of your graph. Okay, otherwise, we don't know if we're talking about thousands or millions or point ones. Okay, so it just gives you an indication of the scale of the graph. And again, it doesn't have to be, these numbers don't have to be exact, they just have to be approximate. Okay, so there's my graph, the vertex, my axis of symmetry, okay, my y-intercept, that point there is at 18. And you should start noticing that this y-intercept has something to do with that last number, that constant term. Okay, it was the same over here, okay, but this only happens in the general form. Okay, so when we look at a different form of the equation, that last number is going to indicate something different. But in this form here, when we plug in 0, we're just left with 18, so that's our y-intercept. Okay, so I'll just make sure I label that. Y-intercept is at 18. My zeros for this, okay, when I work out my zeros, we have a 0 at negative 2. So this 0 here is at negative 2. Okay, or x equals negative 2. And when I calculate the other 0, we have the 0 at 4.5. Okay, so this 0 is at x equals 4.5. And so those are the key parts of this graph. And again, notice that if I took the average, again, find the middle is finding the average. If I took the average of negative 2 and 4.5, that's 2.5 divided by 2, which gives me the middle line. And so that indicates that that red line is symmetrical. This line is symmetry for those two green zeros. Okay, so that's very important that we recognize the symmetry involved in the parabola, because that's a very key mathematical concept in here.